And marker. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the fourth wall. Yeah, my hair's different, so what? Today we're going to be talking about Terminator Genisys with a Y. Be careful though, this review contains major spoilers for the movie. Although, if you've seen any of the trailers, you've already had it spoiled. So let's dig in. Terminator Genisys is the fourth sequel in the Terminator movie universe, and boy, can you feel this franchise losing steam. This movie tried so hard to be the Jurassic World of the Terminator franchise, but ended up being just another disappointment. At what point do they go, maybe we do need James Cameron? Let's talk about the cast. There were some good decisions and some terrible decisions. The best choice they made was bringing back Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had the best lines and provided most of the comedic relief. And while I am glad they changed his role up again, it is very reminiscent of T2. Sent back in time to protect a kid with the last name Connor, except this time it's Sarah and not John. Whoa! Although I did like the recreation of the scene from the first film where Arnold first shows up as the Terminator and he takes the biker kid's clothes. If anything, it allowed us a cool opportunity to watch Arnold fight himself. You know, it was pretty neat. Emilia Clarke is just about as good as she is on Game of Thrones. Really good at shelling out thick emotion, just not that great at making it land. But hey, she kind of looks like Linda Hamilton, right? I mean, isn't that the whole point? I mean, yeah, she was a bit of a badass, but for the most part, she just let Arnold and Jai Courtney do everything for her. Say what you want about Emilia Clarke, nobody was as bad as Jai Courtney as Kyle Reese. Who the hell even came up with this idea? It doesn't make any sense. They went through all this trouble to make Emilia Clarke look like Linda Hamilton, but then they picked this Sam Worthington looking dude who doesn't have any chemistry with anybody and can't seem to convey even the simplest emotions. Doesn't even kind of look like the original Kyle Reese. Somebody fire the casting director. More shitty casting. Jason Clarke was a horrible decision for John Connor. His entire performance was absolutely terrible. His delivery was flat and emotionless, and nothing felt like it had any weight at all. And then they dropped this twist on us that he's a Terminator, which was already ruined from the trailers. And it could have been done really, really well, but they did it like shit. I mean, there's so many unanswered questions just with that. Like, is that still John Connor, or is it just a robot that looks like him now? So then it just ended up being this contrived bullshit twist that doesn't even matter. Okay, back on a positive note, J.K. Simmons might have just been the best character in the whole movie. He's the one person outside our little group of people who actually sort of knows what's going on, but nobody believes him because he just keeps talking about time travel and robots. He is a really fun character, and just about anything J.K. Simmons does is awesome. Now, in terms of structure and what they're actually trying to do with this movie, it felt a lot like Jurassic World in the sense where they were trying to reboot the series but also make a sequel. Except here, Jurassic World did it well, whereas this movie didn't. There's so much cheap nostalgia, it's like they didn't trust the movie on its own. Like, it wouldn't have been good unless they had all these callbacks to the old movies. You can even go in with a checklist. Arnold says, I'll be back. Arnold is bad with emotion. Someone says, come with me if you want to live. Judgment Day must be stopped. Judgment Day is inevitable. People who know the Terminators are bulletproof shoot the Terminators with bullets. I could go on all day. There's so many cliches in this movie, and this one hits every single one of them. I went into this movie like I went into Jurassic World, hoping that it would be similar to the first movie, just a little bit different. And where Jurassic World was successful, Terminator Genisys was not. Instead, this movie just leaves you with tons of questions, like, who sent the old Arnold back? Who sent the Asian T-1000? How did that not change the future? How does time travel work in this universe? Is it a circle, or is it an infinite amount of parallel timelines? If they went into the past and things were different there, shouldn't it be a different John Connor who comes back when they see him later in the movie? It's not going to be the same John Connor we saw from the beginning of the movie because that was a John Connor from a different past. Now the past has changed, shouldn't he change too? Do they actually destroy Skynet? And if they did destroy Skynet, how would the technology exist to send them back in time to destroy Skynet? Paradox! So all in all, Terminator Genisys was a fun ride, but ultimately goes off the rails and doesn't make any goddamn sense. Which is why Terminator Genisys has earned a 7 out of 10. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of The Fourth Wall. The next time you see me, we're going to be talking about Minions. Until then, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead, it's right there in my hand. Just hit it. Just hit subscribe. You won't regret it. I promise.